and what are the technical and fundamental analyses that need to be accounted for?
Now this question, whenever we meet a new trader or an old trader, whoever it is, he always asks this question to us: what is a strategy which can give us profit? So then when I tell him, open an account, start trading, lose money. Then someday you will have a strategy where you can make a profit. But jokes apart, see, profitable trading strategy, and along with that technical and fundamental to account for. See, what I believe is that, since my belief, maybe all may not agree, but whatever technical or fundamental analysis you do, however perfect it is, right, there is always a probability you can go wrong, right? Now that probability will differ from trader to trader, how expert he is, how experienced he is. Somebody, if you are a new trader, the probability is 50%. If you are experienced, it will be 60, 70, 80, 90, but there is always a probability in every trade, before you enter, that the trade will go against you, right? So let's say, in a realistic way, if we say that the probability is 50% you lose money. So your risk management system has to be such that even if you lose 50% of the trade, you should be in profit. So that only your risk management system can save you, where nobody focuses. I have seen, in my career, I have seen around maybe more than 20,000 traders, right? Small to big. But whenever they enter the trade, though they have a stop loss point, they have a take profit point, right? Some have, some don't have, but they never follow a standard risk management procedure, right? And they never follow a trade plan, right? So my suggestion is, if you see the probability of your trade, of your winning trades, design your RMS as per that probability, and then you will make money. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you very much, DJ. Roberto.
Well, setting up a trading strategy, you have so many approaches. It has been said that each and every one of us has his own rules and etc. It has been mentioned before that you have to set a target on top of the stop loss. I don't use targets. I used to follow and let profitable trades go. The thing is that you can use all set of rules as long as the risk is under control. Of course, you have to start from somewhere. Which is my strategy? And then there is always this, let's call it fight between fundamentalist and technical analysts. And both have their pros and cons. Because, being a fundamental trader, looking at news or economics in order to understand, the trend that could be, that could affect in the future a certain currency or a certain commodity, it's a way to approach it. It takes a lot of research, and it's absolutely, viable as long as you do your own work. The technical analysis is sometimes looked at as a shortcut, but it's not. Actually, it is true that the price that you see is the result of the action of traders, but how you analyze it is not just a game, just putting 25 or 30 indicators on that, and I'm sure that many of you here are actually recognizing yourself in this, just to find a way to enter into it. The thing is that technical analysis can be approached in a very simple way, and looking at how the price moves. We are a fan of price action, for example, so that you can really extract some real sense from the market, especially if you don't go too low on time frames. I am of a different opinion, third opinion. You actually can merge the two. Fundamental analysis can help you to understand, first of all, to avoid trends. Trading the news is extremely difficult, and in that case, if you really want to do it, you have to change completely your risk approach, because you face market inefficiencies. all operators during news will reduce their risk, so the liquidity will get thinner. It means that you will need a lot more larger stops to operate. The other way is to understand where are we going in the mid to long term, giving you the direction, and then use the technical analysis to pinpoint your entry. So that would be a very healthy way to do things, and this is actually how I trade manually. When I trade manually, I use both. Both have pros and cons, but together I think they will actually help you to be more proficient. And on top, again, mantra, an adequate risk management framework, apply it always. No excuses, no kind of, yes, but maybe it could reverse. And then you're dead. You don't do that. Okay. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you very much. Dara.
You couldn't have just kept number 3 to yourself, no? So, look, I will, we'll follow on a little bit. I think you have to decide, first of all, what type of trader you are. Are you a scalper? Are you a day trader? Are you a long-term trader? Because depending on which type you are, can also help establish what type of analysis you want to use. I think, Roberto, you said a mixture of the two. I think that is the right way to approach it, because if you look at one on its own, it means that you're factoring out so much, market information. If you look at only economic news that's coming out, then you're ignoring all the technical indicators. And ultimately, knowledge is power. You don't have to be the smartest person in the world to be a good trader. The best traders are the people who arm themselves with as much information from every source they can get it. That means, scrounging websites, news reporters, watching news, learning technical analysis, learning, education. And, so many brokers out there are offering education because they know education is key to success of traders and the longevity, of our client base. So I think you have to try and find the right balance of the two. If you're a day trader, if you're somebody who's trading on technical scenarios, quite often when you see a news time, you may close your positions because you don't want to allow that affect the market. You don't want to allow that to go into it, because if something happens and the Fed cuts by 1% or something and the whole market changes, your whole technical setup has suddenly become redundant, and then you must reset, re-strategize, replan. And I think that's again, it's key, because the market is changing. You have to be able to evolve and change. You do need to prepare for a trade, but you need to be adaptable, and you need to be able to flex your trade, and you need to change your stop loss or your take profit. You can't go in with necessarily a definitive target in mind, because something can affect it, and something can manipulate the market in a way that you need to now reset. But at the same time, you have to be cognizant that when you do prepare a trade, that you know what you want to get out of it, and you can't be impulsive or be panicky, I suppose, if the word may be, that if something doesn't change and if something goes slightly against you, suddenly then you're closing everything out and you're incurring losses that you didn't want to do. And the worst thing that happens is 10 minutes later or an hour later, what you wanted to happen suddenly does happen, and then you realize, you know what, once again I closed the trade out and I knew exactly what I wanted to do. And then what happens is, the next trade you do, you're going to double up, because I knew I was going to get that right. Now I'm going to double up because I can make the money that I should have made on the other trade. And then suddenly you're in a what's it called, a rigmarole, an avalanche. And then suddenly you're making trades that you haven't planned and you haven't prepared for. And that's the one thing you want to be away from.
Lovely, thank you very much. Mohammed.
Yes, I'll go first with the famous quote. Before you attack, you must defend. This is what every football coach will tell you in the field. So before you enter the financial market, you will do exactly the same. So you need the right strategy in order to enter. So strategies could be, every trader has his opinion. So you can be a long-term trader, a short-term trader, or a hedger or arbitrager. So if you would like to trade on a short term, you can apply the fundamental analysis as this news comes out every single day. So you can be a short term trader. If you're planning on a long term trading, you can go with the technical analysis. Usually, sometimes there's some wigs happens, but it usually works out. Thank you.
Lovely, thank you very much. So some very good advice coming through here. So fourth question.